begin today's study session, and we have a board meeting prior to that. It is with deep sadness that we have to announce the passing of R.J. Zeter, who was our transportation director. R.J. served the city of Mesa with great distinction for the past 8 years, bringing his passion for public service to our transportation department. R.J.'s leadership and experience and warm presence will be profoundly missed by all who had the opportunity to work alongside him. So at this time, if we don't mind, if we could take just a moment of silence for the passing of RJ. Thank you. All right. On to our meetings. As you can tell, I am not the mayor. So we'll say good morning to everybody. Before we start our council study session, we'll convene a Mesa Housing Services Governing Board. I'm pleased to take a moment to introduce a new resident member to our board today. Ruth Brea de la Vega is our new board member. Hello, Ruth. How are you?
I'm fine.
Very good.
Very happy to be here.
It's great to have you here. We really appreciate the service that you're going to bring. Anything you'd like to say before we begin? No? Okay. And then I'll just note for you, if you see the little phone-looking device in front of you, if you have anything that you would like to say, you can click on that. It'll turn green, and that way the microphone will work. Or maybe you don't want to turn the microphone on. I would understand that completely. So, Chairperson Freeman obviously is out of town and excused. Board member Heredia is participating via Zoom. All other members are present. Item number 1, citizen present. Any blue cards, Ms. Mosley?
We do not have any blue cards.
No blue cards today. Excellent. Item number 2 is the approval of prior minutes. Is there a motion? See a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes unanimously. Item 3A is a presentation on the 2025 through 2029 5-year plan for the same fiscal year. Updates on the Mesa Housing Choice Voucher Program. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Rosario Beltran, Deputy Director for Community Services. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today. Before I proceed with the updates of the 5-year plan and the annual plan, I would like to go over the roles and responsibilities of the Mesa Housing Authority. We administer the Housing Choice Voucher Program in accordance with the regulations from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, known as HUD. And the program provides rental assistance for low-income families and individuals. We manage a waiting list and determine eligibility. And our preferences are Mesa resident, living or working in Mesa, and chronically homeless. We partner with landlords to help ensure that housing options are available for our program participants. And I'm proud to share with you that the City of Mesa Housing Authority is a high-performing agency. What that means is that we have exceeded the standards set by HUD in the administration of the program. The next slide is information about the vouchers that the City of Mesa Housing Program administers. We have a total of 1,919 vouchers. We have the Housing Choice Vouchers, Project-Based Vouchers, Mainstream for Disabled, the VASH Vouchers, Veterans Affairs Supportive Housing for Veterans, Family Unification Vouchers, and Emergency Housing Vouchers. We received 108 emergency housing vouchers, but as families exit the program, these vouchers cannot be reissued. We have a waiting list for both the Housing Choice Voucher Program and for the Mainstream for Disabled. The other categories are based on direct referrals from the VA and the Department of Child Safety.
May I interrupt?
Councilmember Duff, or
Yeah.
Board Member Duff?
Can you give me an idea what the waiting list is for vouchers? How many people are on the waiting list?
Yes, Board Member Duff. The last time we opened the waiting list was in August of 2022. We currently have about 390 applicants remaining on the waiting list. So about 3 years approximately is the waiting.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
For the
Vouchers.
Section 8 vouchers? Or
Overall.
all of them? Thank you.
Among all of them?
This is for the housing choice vouchers, the mainstream for categories. The other ones are direct referrals from the VA and the Department of Child Safety. Those we see and determine the eligibility upon the referral.
Okay.
And it's the same wait period for all of them?
No,
roughly?
no, for the department, for the VASH vouchers, as soon as we get a referral from the VA,
Yeah.
we contact the family or the individual and we determine the eligibility. So there is no waiting list for them.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The next slide is on the 5-year plan and the annual plan. The 5-year plan and the annual plan are documents that we're required to submit to HUD once every 5 years for the 5-year plan, and the annual plan once a year. The purpose of the plans are to provide information about the housing authority policies, the rules, and the requirements concerning the operations and the services that we offer. We also provide a progress report to HUD about our program operations and management. The next slide is on the administrative plan changes. The administrative plan is the Mesa Housing Authority guidebook that has the rules and the policies that we follow to manage the program. Our admin plan, we call it admin plan, but it's the administrative plan, has been updated to reflect the significant changes on housing opportunities through Modernization Act, known to us as HOTMA. The changes were on income, assets, and Inspire inspections, known to us as national standards for the physical inspections of real estate. This is supposed to be effective October 1st of 2025. And although the inspection process will be very similar to the way that we're currently doing an inspection, for example, if we're failing a unit because the stove is not working, or if there's a leak in the unit, we will still fail the inspection. Inspire is designed to be more efficient and more data-driven. The reason why there's future dates on the implementation of income, assets, and the inspections is because HUD is still working on the technical side of the system to be able for housing authorities to be fully compliant with this. The next slide is on the small area fair market rents. If you remember, last year we came and we explained that small area fair market rents were going to be implemented as were mandated by HUD starting this year, effective January 1st, 2025. Small area fair market rents sets the rent amount at the zip code level, and it became effective January 1st. We will continue to apply the 2-year rule for changes in rent calculations that could have a negative effect on families by decreasing their subsidy. And the benefits of the small area fair market rents is that it provides access to areas of higher opportunities, reduces concentration of voucher participants, and it allows the housing authority to establish payment standards that better reflect the local market variations. On the VASH program update, I'm happy to report that last year we applied for additional HUD VASH vouchers. Every notice of funding has requirements and limitations as to who can apply in order to be eligible for vouchers, and in this case we needed to have a utilization of 70% of higher in the VASH program, and we needed to have the support from the VA, which we did. Therefore, we went from 191 VASH vouchers to 206. On the Housing Choice Voucher Program updates, this slide summarizes the voucher utilization from 2023 to year to date. We strive to continue to be a high-performing housing authority by fully utilizing the funding that is provided by HUD. The rent payments that we made on behalf of the participants for 2024, we paid $24.5 million, and in 2025, we are forecasting $26.8 million. A couple of reasons for the increase is because we do have higher rents, we have more vouchers, and then there's an increase in our utilization as well. As you can see, in 2023, we were only 94% utilized, and currently we are at 98% utilized. This next slide is the family self-sufficiency graduation. In January, we hosted the graduation, and I want to thank Mayor Freeman, who is not here today, but he attended the graduation and provided the welcoming remarks. It was a collaborative event with the cities of Scottsdale, Tempe, and Chandler, and we celebrated 3 graduates from Mesa who are successfully transitioned to self-sufficiency and are no longer receiving the housing assistance benefits. And this last picture here is our FSS graduates with Mayor Freeman and part of our housing team. This concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions. If no questions, then Chair Summers can move forward with the action items.
Very good. I do have one question on there. There's been considerable federal scrutiny on programs such as this, and many board members were at the National League of Cities and heard presentations on what's happening, particularly in HUD and with housing. So how flexible is this 5-year plan, given what might be happening in the future with that program, potential cuts? Will we have to bring this back to council if changes are made? Or at what level might we have to bring that back?
Yes, Chair Summers, it's a very good question, given everything that is happening right now. As of now, we have not received any formal information from HUD stating that our funding is going to be reduced or anything. The 5-year plan, if there's any changes, of course, we can always revise it. We will be taking the guidance from HUD at that time. But as of now, business as usual, we are receiving the funding from HUD.
Okay. I don't know, Mr. Brady, who would answer it, but if there are any cuts to this program, do we see any risk to the general fund should some of these programs be cut?
Well, not on the voucher program.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't
all
think so.
funded by the federal government. It's just that you'll have several families who will no longer have housing assistance. And the question then, how
What
does that
happens there?
impact homelessness? Yeah.
Yep. Questions from the board? Mr. Adams? Okay. Ms. Pillsbury.
Remind us, the self-sufficiency program, that's a voluntary program, or do you guys try to get at what point do you try to get people into that program?
Yes, Chair Summers, board members, Pillsbury. The Family Self-Sufficiency Program is voluntary. We promote the program as soon as the families are entering the voucher program. And it's not for everybody. We do a contract of participation with whoever is interested in participating, and it's a 5-year contract.
And I'm assuming there are some perks or benefits to completing the program. I mean, other than not needing assistance anymore, which is a good one, but what's encouraging people to be involved in this?
Yes. So we provide case management, support services. We direct the families to, for example, if somebody needs daycare assistance, or they need to apply to, or they need to get their GED, we connect them to those agencies or those resources so that they can be successful.
And is there a limit to how long you can use a voucher for?
The Family Self-Sufficiency Program is separate from the Housing Choice Voucher Program. The Family Self-Sufficiency Program is a contract for 5 years. The voucher, there is no limit as long as they're following the rules of the program and they continue to be eligible for the program, then the voucher continues.
So are there efforts, like if someone's been on it for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, are there efforts to get more people involved in this self-sufficiency program, or we only do that when they first sign up?
No, we continuously do it as well. We have briefings with the families. We send letters out, and we have newsletters where we are promoting the Family Self-Sufficiency
All the way
Program.
through?
Yes.
Okay, great. Three graduates is great, but it seems kind of low for how many vouchers we have, so I feel like we could do more there, but.
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you.
Board Member Adams?
Thank you. Good morning. Could we go back to slide 7? I have a question about one of the items there.
Which one?
Keep going. There we go.
Yes.
Okay. On the benefit side, it states reduces concentration of voucher participants. What type of concentration does that refer to? Area or?
Yes. Board Member Adams, yes. So it's a concentration on the area, on the zip code level. So
Okay.
this, the small area fair market rents will provide an amount by zip code. So it has more opportunities for voucher holders to look also beyond. Before, they will only be getting one amount, and it was for the entire Maricopa metropolitan area.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that for me. The only other comment I have is, yeah, I agree, 3 graduates, if you will, is a good number. Do we have a goal for a higher number, or how do we measure that?
So the Family Self-Sufficiency Program is, the Family Self-Sufficiency Specialist carries a caseload of 50, and HUD actually recommends for a smaller caseload on the family self-sufficiency side, because it's a lot of meetings with the clients. We have to meet with them regularly, update them on how they follow up with getting their GED, attending their classes, and all of this. So we want to make sure that they're successful, and we want to provide quality service so that they can meet those goals.
Any other board members, any questions?
I have
Member
one
Duff.
question. How many of the emergency housing vouchers do we get?
Yes. Board Member Duff, yes. We received 108 originally, and we currently have 86.
Okay. And we use that in our program of continuum care with the Off the Streets program, where we are not necessarily, where we usually bring them into a hotel or something like that and get them situated and try to graduate them
Yes.
into
So
housing.
the emergency housing vouchers were vouchers that we received during the pandemic.
Okay.
They received a voucher, just like the regular housing choice vouchers, and the families or individuals that were eligible for this program, they went and located a unit. So it's exactly the same as a housing choice voucher. The only difference is that it's different funding provided by HUD, say under a different category, but it's still a housing choice voucher. It's a permanent voucher that is still, it's not, they have supportive services, but it's not through the housing authority.
Okay. So this is an ongoing program? Is it new?
It was given to us during the pandemic. It
Okay.
is supposed to end in 2030. At that
Okay.
time,
Okay.
HUD will determine if they're going to continue to fund this program or not. But as you can see, they also put the speculation where we are not able to reissue the voucher once a family exits the program.
Right. Okay, interesting. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, Board Member Adams.
Thank you. Sorry, follow-up question, and forgive me, I'm kind of new to the game here. So these are federal funds that the city alone administers, is that correct?
Board
No
Member.
third-party agencies?
Yes, Board Member Adams, that's correct. These are federal funds, and the City of Mesa Housing Authority, we administer the funding, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Any other questions? Seeing none. Item 4A is to conduct a public hearing on the Mesa Public Housing Agency's 2025-2029 5-year plan and annual plan for those fiscal years. I declare the public hearing open. Ms. Mosley, do we have any requests to speak?
No request, Vice Chair.
No requests. We've just heard a presentation on the plan. Do any board members have any further questions? Seeing none, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Item 4B is to take action on a resolution approving the 5-year plan and annual plan as we have just been presented on, and authorizing the chairman of the board to submit the 5-year plan and annual plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Is there a motion on this resolution? Board Member Spilsbury, seconded by Board Member Duff. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Heredia. Any opposed? Seeing none, the motion passes unanimously. And with that, is there a motion to adjourn? Board Member Adams, seconded by Board Member Duff. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, and we are adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, Ruth. I hope it wasn't too brutal. We try to go easy when we have new folks. Thank you so much for your participation. It was fantastic. It's wonderful when we have the opportunity to have citizen volunteers come and participate in our meetings. And I do believe, Ms. Mosley, I know I'm off script, but we are seeking board member applications.
Yes. Yeah, we have our applications open for the new round, and we have a few that are termed out at the end of June. How many positions was that? Maybe less than 30, I believe. But
Less than
we are
30?
recruiting for,
We are recruiting, and they just go to your website.
yes, our website has all the open opportunities at this time.
Excellent. This is what happens. I get off script when the city attorney leaves, so I can get away with stuff. Don't tell him. All right.